What's up, everyone? It's Hey John, and I jabber opportunities nonstop. And boy, oh boy, the news in the media right now, it is not looking bueno. So we will be covering all of this and, of course, Evergrow coin. So let's go ahead and just jump right into it. All right, folks, as you know, we are still in a pandemic. There is still COVID-19 around the world, and currently we have Omicron, and whew, I did not sleep good last night because of all of the news occurring in the stock world. And of course, as you know, I'm a stock guy. I like my money in the stocks. So currently today, there is a big sell-off because people are having their fears come about again. So we're seeing on the market headlines here, stocks sell off on Omicron fears, Dow slides 650 points. And the most important one here is that Goldman cuts GDP forecast after Senator Manchin says he won't support Biden's Build Back Better plan. Oh, geez Louise. On the major indexes here, the S&P 500 is down 1.65%. The Nasdaq is down 1.64%. Now you're wondering, okay, that isn't a lot, but 1% in a trillion plus market is a significant amount of moolah. We're also seeing the 10-year bonds decrease. So what does all of this mean? So now we are seeing the stock market world pull back due to the Omicron fears. And you know what? There is some validity to that. Now, if you guys watch the news, such as I, you will know that the news and the data is suggesting that this is really an unvaccinated pandemic. The folks who are vaccinated, well, they do get sick and some do pass away, but usually they just get sick and they recover. Now, I want to say this right now that I am being unbiased. I'm not against or with anything you guys want to do. You want to vax, you don't want to vax, that's fine. It's not political. I'm not about that. I'm just reading and interpreting what the data suggests. So I want to make sure that's very clear right now. So with all that being said, when you see the mainstream media covering the pandemic, well, guess what? It's going to incite fear in some folks. Now, I did discuss that we would see a Santa Claus rally. Of course, we do have a few days before that can occur. But the only time I have not seen a Santa Claus rally was in 2008. And we all know what that was, the 08-09 crisis. The Lehman Brothers fell apart, everything went to shambles. And that's one of the reasons why we didn't see a Santa Claus rally. But every other year, I've seen it happen almost like clockwork. Now, in China, we have Evergrande, too big to fail. I call them Lehman Brothers 2.0. I've covered them in the past, and these guys have borrowed an exorbitant amount of money to do real estate. Now, why am I covering this? Because we are seeing global catastrophes in the sense where we are seeing these too large to fail companies, guess what? Failing and needing a bailout. Now, what does a 10-year bond suggest when it decreases? Well, usually the 10-year bond, when it decreases, it will lower 30-year mortgages. Okay, folks, before you get all excited about lower 30-year mortgages, when the interest rate goes down, fantastic. You get quote unquote cheaper money to buy inflated property. But you have to also understand that when you decrease the interest rate, the house price also increases because everyone is looking for a monthly price. And if you see the monthly price is say like $2,000 and that is within your budget, you won't care if the house costs $500,000 or $600,000 because most folks are looking at the monthly nut. Now, on the flip side, I want to cover this because it's very important to know how the stock world is doing. And now we will be moving into Evergrow coin. And ladies and gentlemen, I can see the inklings of goodness. Okay, folks, here we are looking at the search trends. It was at 12 and now it's at 22. At one point in time, it was 12 and I believe 14. So we're seeing increase by 8 more points. Ladies and gentlemen, do you know what this means? It means more folks are starting to look up Evergrow coin. And guess what? When you're looking it up, you may be researching it to figure out what it means. What it is, what does it do? We're seeing a lot of buzz and lots of news articles coming out. We're seeing comparisons between Shiba Inu to Evergrow Coin. And you know, Shiba Inu has a ton of volume per day. We're seeing Dogecoin being compared to Evergrow Coin. And again, Dogecoin also has a lot of volume per day. Now, what are we seeing right now? We're seeing Dogecoin and Shiba Inu being compared to Evergrow Coin. I have both Dogecoin and Shiba Inu. I like both, but let's be real, folks. They are literally meme tokens, and that's fine. The community rallies around it, and it builds it up, and it pushes up to the moon. Fantastic here, right? But the problem currently is that they don't really have real utility. Dogecoin is working on it, but they aren't there yet. It'll still take a lot of movement to get their currency as a utility. Evergrow Coin, however, has a fundamental use case, and everything they do is utility driven. So when I see this comparison here, it is looking to suck away the Dogecoin and SHIB army into Evergrow Coin. And we are seeing that because I've covered Dogecoin for a long time, and I'm seeing folks who watch my channel starting to move into Evergrow Coin as well. That's probably due in part because I cover both, and I see lots of potential with this, and I'm trying to get the word out to folks. And even though we have around 114,000 Evergrow Coin hodlers, you know what, ladies and gentlemen? We are still early. Shiba Inu, Dogecoin, they have millions of users. And if you think about it, 114,000 hodlers, millions. I think we're still in the beginning, believe it or not. It just may not seem like it because Evergrow Coin is only about 3 months old. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to cover Bitcoin on a daily perspective, all right? So what do we see here? Currently, Bitcoin is at around $46,338. We are seeing on December 4th, 2021, the low was $43,423. If you look at it from a chart perspective, it looks like Bitcoin is trading slowly towards that $43,000. If you look at the Agora RSI indicator here, we can see that we are still in bearish territory. We have rarely seen the oscillator go into the bullish territory. So what does this mean here? It means that the longer you stay below zero, that means you're in bear territory. So even if you go up and you go back down, that's usually what you call a fake out, shakeout. And now we're seeing all of this news culminate into the end of the year. Now, what are the support and resistance for Bitcoin? The support will be at 40,828. That is a long-term, very strong support. It's been here since literally the beginning of the year. You can see here on January 9 through 14, we hit 40,828, and that was the breakout point. And then it popped into a new all-time high and it pulled back down. But every time it got around to 40,828, you saw a strong resistance and support depending on where you are on the map. However, though, even if it broke down below 40,828, the support of $30,007 was an extremely strong support. And even though it consolidated there from May 19th to about July 20th, after that, we saw a huge reversion and we started to move back up into a new all-time high. Ladies and gentlemen, I do not know if we're going to have a Santa Claus rally due to all of this news culminating near the end of the year. We have Evergrande defaulting, falling apart. We have Omicron. We have the stock markets pulling back. We have a pandemic still in play. We have tons of climate disasters. We're seeing towns literally get wiped off the map and need to get rebuilt. So ladies and gentlemen, this end of the year is not looking too good from a news and high level perspective. There is tons of things happening that are more important than cryptocurrency, believe it or not. When you see a Kentucky town get leveled, at that point in time, you're more concerned and worried about shelter, food, and family. Cryptocurrency is the least of your concerns. And let's be real, folks, stocks come before cryptocurrency for the majority of the folks in the United States of America. With that being said, that's kind of why I cover the stocks as well, because without them bringing in their fat stacks, then guess what, folks? You may not see the Santa Claus rally. And of course, do not forget, we have tons of GME and AMC investors into cryptocurrency as well. They play options, they make their gains, their calls, and their puts, and they circle it back into cryptocurrency because they want to make a huge gain. Now, if they're losing there as well and they're not making what they want, then guess what? Less money is flowing into cryptocurrency. Now, we also know that Bitcoin has tons of illiquid supply being bought up on P2P. Now, what does P2P mean? It means peer-to-peer. It means that I transfer my Bitcoin from me to you directly, and we are not on an exchange. So we're seeing folks like Michael Saylor buying more Bitcoin on the P2P over-the-counter markets. So what that means is that this does not affect the books on centralized exchanges like Binance, like Coinbase, Crypto.com, etc. So we're seeing the finite supply of Bitcoin being bought up and hodled on cold storage wallets, which means they are not on the market for the open book. Now let's finally cover the Evergrow coin charts as well. Ladies and gentlemen, you can see that yesterday I was calling for the W pattern, but there's a reason why it did not happen. After I made that video, later on that same day in the evening, there were talks of Omicron and the fears in the stock market. So obviously I was wrong, and that's okay, folks. This is a pattern, and patterns aren't a guarantee of anything. I did say in the video, if you watched it, I said that if we cannot break above 66.38 and then test 6782 and break out of that, then guess what, folks? We will pull back. And if we cannot do those two things, then, well, ladies and gentlemen, it means that this pattern is invalidated. Remember, folks, this is the cryptocurrency and stock market. Nothing is guaranteed. These are all probabilities and likelihoods. Now, obviously, nobody can predict what you're going to see on the news, such as Omicron, right? Nobody knows when you're going to see the mainstream media drop news about that and sink the stock market and effectively the cryptocurrency market. However, though, folks, we're seeing a new channel being formed, and this is a downward channel. So basically, this means that we are going down. It's unfortunate. Things can reverse if we have good news. And the reason why we are in a downward channel, because now we're seeing lower lows occurring and we're seeing lower highs. So this means the new middle line will be at around 6216. If we get around there, ladies and gentlemen, I'm pretty sure we're going to bump our heads and come back down, because that will be the middle of the downward channel. Now, however, though, if we can break above 6534 with some conviction and poise and volume confirmation, then, ladies and gentlemen, I would say this can invalidate this downward channel. But again, given the fact that we're seeing all of this bad news occur in the world, and it has nothing to do with cryptocurrency, but it affects it indefinitely, and that's what you need to be aware of. And that's what I'm aware of. That's kind of why I'm sharing with you guys. I'm not trying to incite fear, uncertainty, or doubt, but you have to be aware of the good and the bad. And now we're seeing lots of bad news occur. It's unfortunate, but that's okay too, right, folks? That's life, right? Life goes up and goes down. So if you want your 2 free stonks courtesy of WEBULL, all you gotta do is use my link down below in the description, and boom, you can get that. So I want you all to stay safe, and most importantly, have an awesome day, and I will catch you all on the next one.